What mod pack is this? projectozone3. Very old. Small server. Small amount of time we played. Didn't really get to go into extended crafting to see all the cool stuff they had to offer, but that's fine. It was a lot of effort to even do a lot of this crap. Would have been nice to see what some of this stuff does. Infinity attack damage. Looting 5. Looting. Is L 50? No, X is like. No, C is 100. L might be 50. Or 1,000. Anywho, that would have been nice to make. One shot grab. I was like midway through making all these crafting tables for later. At the start of the server, I beelined it towards the gatherer, which required so much crap. It's like 3-4 days of just solid figuring out how I'm gonna make this crap to like go to the nether, get this stuff, make the hydraulic press to get this crap. The hydraulic press is a multi-block, which is a bunch of other shit. So I did that first so I could have resources going while I worked on my base. But then I moved the setup. I don't know where the pickaxe went. Oh well, it's fine. Bunch of crap, bunch of loot for all the free resources, trying to figure out some of these smaller mod packs like Yaba, chicken chunks to make it more efficient, effective. All these growth accelerators help in the gather process. It's a much needed block. Mystical agriculture and the plant gather industrial foraging really shouldn't go together. A little busted. Cameron's old house. I think he tried to make a church, but wasn't all too motivated to play because we've just been grinding mod pack after mod pack after mod pack. Freaking asshole. This is a fun feature. Mob grinder. XP farm. Loot bags. They got old quick at some point because the mobs was infinite loot from the bags. So the loot pool got pretty repetitive. But it's all powered by coal, so it's off right now. Jordan's first base. No loot. Beds. The MC8 little music disc in there. Fluid cows were definitely going to be useful at some point. So these should definitely not be in here. Just farming very busted liquids out of here. Free XP, free lava, free molten enderium. First thing any of us did was get flying. because it's very essential. This is more or less Jordan's base. I said, let's not make a base the first fucking place we see. That's exactly what happened. I guess it doesn't matter when I make a base in the sky. And then there's another base in the sky. But Minecraft does have a lot of cool and unique biomes, but not this modpacks, more or less. But even vanilla Minecraft has a really great world gen. You just gotta go looking for it. I don't know for sure who built this little mushroom house, but it's very quaint. I love little houses that blend in with nature. Then Joshua lived over here. I don't even know what this is, but it's definitely cool. All his stuff. Waystone's a great way to get around until we all made dislocators. Jordan's base. Jordan's secret base. Standard stuff. The core rail mod is really nice. Way to get around when you die. A lot of these stuffs are really useful. Getting in and out, save yourself from death, get some extra boons. Something to put your points and time into. We all made flying panels. Solar panels allowed us to fly. Beacons never worked. Might be because we're too close to the world height limit. But even these beacons looked a bit fishy to start with. Might be a mod thing. And it's nice that we're all living closer and closer with every mod pack. But I want us to eventually just live in one building. Then like we each take wings, share chests, share loots. But it's very hard when we all have different goals for what we want to do for loot, because a lot of mod packs that require a lot of different things. So it's definitely difficult to decide who gets what and what goes where. Tech space. Spooky. It's not even worth killing. Look at this great button. Just a delete button. More garbage. This power 10 bow I found. Pretty cool. One shots a lot of stuff. Free mobs, nether, deep dark, waystone that always artificially resets. Cacophony garbage. Every now and then I'll take a piece of wood, piece of iron. I'm sure no one will notice. Trivial things. I remember we killed all the bosses, like day 2 of the server, just to get it out of the way. No pressure. All the wood types, or most of them. There should be string in here, not sticks. Cobble generator. Cool transparent furnace. Shit ton of stone. This is a part of the gatherer setup. More cool stuffs. Go down, go up. A lot of the guys you can need for trading. Convenient smelting room. Make any enchantment. Remove any enchantment. Brewing. I mostly came here just to use the coal generator. I made this alloy smelter, the pulverizer. The whole use of this entire base were just for these 3 blocks, 4 blocks. Which were fairly easy to make. Definitely easy to make. But I like the complicated crafting recipes that are weaved in and out of this mod pack. It really makes it interesting and not just so mind-numbingly grind, do this, grind, do that. It makes you think about all the stuff you might need. I'm surprised we got fusion crafting so early in the mod pack, but that's only because we had infinite wither stars. That's more or less tight space. Looks like a cake. 4-layer cake. Cut in. See the fancy pattern. My first little setup. My actual temp base. The quote-unquote temp base. The half temp base. And 2 little bases. And a little worm. Wish I could take him with me. Killed the end portal, fusion crafting up there. This is where I put a lot of my work and goal into, was something. I didn't know it would be this, but I like the way it turned out. With the clouds, I definitely do this kind of build again. But you needed so much crap for this one gatherer. And I think I could still make it more efficient and effective. I definitely do have a lot of crap for it. 9x9 crafting table surely isn't a joke. I definitely would have liked to use it. You need this to make these, to make that, so you use that to make this, and you need that for that, and oh, it all just circles back. And you need to go into another dimension for part of that. It's all linked. I like it. I like the time I spent. I did not put those sheep there. All the bosses I helped kill. And then the cloud. Dumb neighbors. Not a fan of those neighbors. Never really went exploring too much, so we didn't get the totems working too far in. Cameron put up a little solar generator. But it's a lot of work to go back and forth, make all these blocks. And who needs food when you have a metric shit ton of berries? The most complicated thing on this server. which is only powered in daytime. I kind of like that. It's a little quaint. So in order to, let's do the process. Let's just say you want to make one block. I just wish I knew where I put my pickaxe. It's not all too relevant, but it's like an all-in-one tool. Shovel, pickaxe, axe. But anyway, in order to make the gather, you needed to get the platinum, which is in the nether. Gotta go to the nether, gotta get diamonds. Simple enough, but for heavy tungsten plates, you need this hydraulic press. In order to get the hydraulic press, you need to do this multi-block structure. This multi-block structure is like a shit ton of blocks on its own, but they're all annoying but doable in their own sense. They just required like a handful of zinc and tungsten, but the only way to get zinc and tungsten were by sifting crushed netherrack. In order to get crushed netherrack, you needed to use the diamond hammer on the netherrack, and it'll drop a assortment of these ore pieces, which you put together. And then you could use these ore pieces put together with the pyrotheum dust and the here it is, the basal's powder. Then it used a pyrotheum dust, which is crushed obsidian. So you need the nether, and you need a way to farm these. You need a way to farm these basals. In order to do that, you need the crushing dolls. In order to get the crushing dolls, you need to make the dolls, and then put these dolls, which are all this garbage, into a porcelain barrel. Porcelain barrel needed to be filled with blazing pyrotheum, which luckily we had a cow. So to get the cow, put a bucket of its blazing pyrotheum into the porcelain barrel, throw in this crushed doll into the porcelain barrel, wait a minute. If I had my sword slash pickaxe slash hoe slash all the other tools, it had looting 3. In order to get looting 3, I need to use that enchant. What was it even called? Yeah, we need to use the enchanter, but to get enchanted, you need dark steel. In order to get the dark steel, I think there's an alloy smelter of obsidian, iron, crushed coal, which you work your way backwards, get this, and we need to shit ton of lapis, like 3 heads to get looting 3. With the looting 3, got a handful of those basal's powder. Then with those powders and these powders, and a handful of the Arctic or tungsten ore pieces, I was able to get enough tungsten to make a lot of these blocks, which needed the tungsten plates. Or the tungsten plates, it blocks the tungsten, so you need a metric shit ton of this, metric shit ton of that, crap ton of this, crap ton of that. It's for the same as zinc, but instead of crushed netherrack, you need crushed sand, so you make this, but in order to use this, you needed a particular kind of power, which was a solar grid. In order to use a solar grid, you needed to use this copper wire, but it's a little finicky because you need to use these electric connectors, which aren't in the book. But once you do all that, you finally have 2 to 9 pieces. And the machine frame's not that hard. This is not that hard. But you gotta do plastic next. In order to get plastic, you need 2 more heart-wrenching machines. Which were the latex processing unit, tree fluid extractors, and then you can make Invar and a red alloy ingot, but it's different from just the redstone alloy ingot, which is over here. Titanium, not that bad. Constantine, we had a cow. I don't think I needed to use the cow, actually. I think I just alloy smelted it. But yeah, I was in the process of trying to figure out how to get the liquid from the cow into an ingot form without having to do all the Tinker's construct casting bullshit. But then, after all that, finally made the gatherer, and I already had a way to power it for only the daytime. That's all I really needed. And once I had the gatherer, I already had a tier 3 seed going, tier 3 essence seed. And then once that made enough essence, I worked my way up to a handful of tier 6 essence seeds and furium seeds. And once I had a shit ton of essence, I could work my way up to the OP essence. Now I'm trying to make, what is it, creative essence? Yeah, this is where I'm at. So in order to get the creative essence, I need basic crafting, 4 of these, which are 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 4 of these, and that's why I have about 200k. That should net me a handful of these Insanium essences, which I won't need these creative essences eventually for this infinite source block, source block, and I won't need them for these eventually. They're useful in their own right, but I'm gonna need to get here eventually. Might as well start now. God, I just like looking at all this shit. Quick little 10 million essence or RF, not that bad. Well, then once I got some of the essence, I needed to branch out for a lot of these other essences. But in order to do that, I needed some of these higher tier essences. So I had to make this master infusion crystal, and the only way to do that was... So I thought I was done, but I'm not really done, because I need this crystal to do the amount of crafting I'm going to do, because I could not be bothered to make all these lower tier ones, which don't work down. These will only work for their current color. But in order to make this, you need this mana infused, which means you need 2 of these infused dust, which get this dust, you need to go bind it with these crystals, not that bad. But then with these mana infused shards, you do need like water essence. I think that's what I used. You need some kind of essence in order to make this shit. So I had to figure out that, reading some dumb book to make this void interface, and I had to go make a shit ton of tablets, which required the Ember modpack crystals, and then I needed to use that sleuth in order to get a handful of them. But with those crystals, I was able to make tablets, which were able to make me spell out water in this book. Bunch of monotonous crap or tedious crap to make this, to make that, to make this, and then in order to make these arcane forges, that wasn't that bad. Arcane crafting, that wasn't that bad. And then I had all that. I need to make a bunch of this crap for this ultimate crafting table. Once that's all said and done, I finally got damn near infinite resources, which for 4 or 5 days of work in-game, or about 1.4, almost day and a half, but I'd say it's only about 18 hours of work. A lot of it was just spent dicking around. After I finished, because once I worked fast, I slowed down a lot. So much so, I took the gatherer, like all my blocks from down at the old base. I just picked them up for like 6-7 hours as I was tidying up the base and then making that one. left everything else behind. And after that, put it all up here. I could definitely tidy it up, but I just wanted some simple things to make my base. Well, not that simple, but here's that barrel. No, it's a stone. I need the porcelain. But once I had the gatherer, that was my first goal. Was just to make the gatherer, make the base. Despite the gatherer taking several days of work, I didn't really care because I had a goal, just stuck with it. No matter the tedious amount of crap I had to do for it. And then after that, spent a while in the base. I mean, I could have made this base first, but it would have been extremely hard if I didn't have. Like, I made the cloud as well. This is all handmade. But it would have been really hard if I didn't have the builder's wand or the marble, which I had to mine out like many of these astral sorcery islands for. Oh, he died because I got one shot by creepers. Mob damage is nice. I like that everything's not just a baby mode. I could have done all this earlier, but if I'm going to reach destination B at the end, the displacement is going to be the same, but the distance is going to be the same, but the displacement is going to be about the same. Actually, yeah, it's going to be the same as well. I'm going to build the base and make the gather at some point, so it really doesn't matter which orientation I do it. I definitely will flesh out if I come back to this modpack and world. It's a nice idea to add more clouds for different little mod packs. Need this to go in here for this little staff. That was a whole thing in and of itself. I like the little marble temple. I like the build. You know, this is a little ugly bit in the side, and I tried my best to hide it. And it really only does look slightly bad from up here, but I don't mind that as long as it generally is like completely hidden. Like you never be able to tell that that pillar is there, and it's hiding all those essence blocks I mentioned earlier. They go all the way down. And aside from that, it's more or less the mod pack. Not many people played this time around. I assume deep down because it's getting burnt out or that's probably just it. Can't be playing one game repeatedly too often, or defining your expectations of what other people are doing. Everyone has different wants and needs and different time frames for play in their life. You know, I do so much to appease it, but I had fun doing what I was doing. That's what I care about. Maybe next mod pack. A lot of the big problem with these mod packs are because everyone has different times to come on, play what they want. Progression is definitely an issue. So if one guy works like 20 hours on a weekend, but everyone else has like the weekend off, and that one guy would feel excluded. And then he plays he plays out the next couple of weekdays while no one else is on, and he has a bunch of shit no one else gets to see. It's always a back and forth of who gets to put their time in. But I don't like to. I know everyone has different time requirements in their life. So it's definitely hard to juggle. A good mod pack that would allow for everybody to play. But for most part, that's it. It would have been nice to explore, but this mod pack more or less is just building. You go to the moon, do some astral sorcery stuff, dive into this. I really like the idea of this endgame mod pack. Look at this cosmic meatballs, infinity catalyst. I think that's just infinite power, but might be not. Oh, yeah, it's a really good solar panel for the one before, and then to upgrade it. Is this even that bad? What do you even need for neutron to make it? Neutronium block. Well, given that there's no crafting recipe. No, so you need the neutron collector. God knows what kind of mind-boggling crap you'd have to do to make a neutron collector. Yeah, let's see. Called it. But even this isn't that bad. Iron, redstone, quartz. Unless if this is one block that just makes these, that would be fine. Every 6 minutes. Okay, so you can eventually get all these. That's not that bad. So the next limiting reagent would be these matrix ingots. These wouldn't be that bad. Just need to kill a couple dozen hydras, or you could do the seeds. I'm pretty sure they're seedable.
Oh yeah.
What do you want?
Oh, I have to catch up on whatever happened in the last 30 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Jordan.
Jordan ranting? Shut up. I'm halfway through my video of our very popular Minecraft
Oh.
server. I'm just going through the extended crafting recipes, and it might seem mind-boggling later on, but it's actually not too horrendous. Just spamming R a handful of times.
Yeah, I mean, I think this server would have been good. I think it would have been good.
I
But I feel like a
don't.
lot of people were burnt on Minecraft.
Yeah, I literally said that a while ago.
He did say that.
Because you keep cheating buying these servers. It's fine. It's fine. The mod packs were fun, but you do need a break. That's just how playing the same game over and over again works.
So hold on, let's see what Jordan said. I want to see what Jordan. From what I've noticed,
Hold on. There's one more thing. Let me just see. Mind-boggling crafting recipes. Well, that's probably it. I explored everything. I'm just going through recipes. Fucking ending this thing.